The trailer for Zoopunk just dropped and it looks interesting. A prequel to a game that I consider to be one of the most slept on 2D platformers of the last decade. A game with a ton of atmosphere and character. And whilst this 3D prequel does look kind of cool at times during the trailer, I don't know, it seems to be missing a ton of its character and atmosphere, so we'll have to see. But for now, let me show you one of the first games I ever got for my PS5, the Chinese made F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch. As you see, it's this really cool Metroidvenia style 2D platformer, and man, just the vibe of this game and the story is so great. It has this cozy feel I can't really explain, but I think if you play this game for yourself, you know what I'm talking about. This game was released in 2021 and developed by a pretty unknown team called Thai Games. The game was originally released on the PS4 and 5 and then later released on the Nintendo Switch and Xbox. It takes place in this rundown steampunk city called Torch City, and you play as this badass rabbit called Rayton that uses a variety of mechanical weapons, most notably his robotic fist. The story centres around Rayton and his efforts to free the city from the evil robotic legion that's invaded and captured his friend. You meet a ton of unique and quirky characters along the way, whether that be the residents of Torch City or even the bad guys. Plus you soon discover that you're not the only one fighting to free the city from its oppression. I don't want to spoil too much about the story, so therefore I'm only showing footage from relatively early on in the game. You definitely need to play this game for yourself. One thing I do really love about the story is its complexity. Not that the story itself is particularly complex, but it's the way that the game tells the story. Often it won't even tell, it will show, and that's something I really appreciate for a 2D platformer. I often even wondered if a lot of this game's vibe could be seen as a parallel to how residents of communist China would have felt. Now let's talk about the gameplay, and man, it can be brutal. You do unlock upgrades as you progress, but even with these upgrades, this game can kick your ass if you are not careful. These upgrades include different skills and abilities, as well as fighting combos that can help you in combat and new equipment upgrades that allow you to progress into new areas. As for weapons, of course you have your trusted fist, but then there's also a drill, a whip, and even homing missiles and so on, but you won't get a lot of this stuff until later on. The combat is another part of this game that plays really well. You perform regular attacks to build SP, which can then be used to perform more powerful attacks, and then you have EP that can be used to regain lost health or even use some of your weapons in combat. And like all good Metroidvanias, none of these is as easy as it sounds. The amount of times I got my ass kicked in this game is probably laughable. Luckily, combat never gets stale either, as there is a great variety in different enemy types and design, and then you have the environment, which is often an enemy too. You'll play through sections where you'll have to navigate through electrical traps and fire hazards, as well as environment based puzzles which always feel fresh. Despite being 2D, this game is quite open world, and a lot of times you'll need to use your map to figure out where the hell you need to be going. Even though the Metroidvania genre has become pretty overdone, this game isn't one of those basic bitch titles. If it's not obvious by now, this game is super unique and has a really cool vibe that I haven't felt from many other games. I really can't recommend this one enough. I know that this has only been a short review, but I'm trying to show and tell as little as possible. I've been meaning to do a review of this game since I first got it, and I'm just happy to finally be able to give it the time on my channel. This really is a game that most people should check out, especially if you're looking for something new. I'm often complaining at the lack of new IPs, but there's one right here that's just dope. One final point for any collectors like myself out there: if you're into physical games, this does have a physical release. It's not super common, but you can currently find it for about 25 quid online. I definitely recommend you get it physical, as it's believed that within time this could be one of the more collectible titles for the PS5. And even if it doesn't, come on, I mean, look how dope the box art is. Okay y'all, that's my quick review. Totally dope game, and one I've been in love with since I very first played it. I've always promised myself I'd review and show it off to y'all, and today I've kept my promise, so be sure to drop a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and let me know if you played this one in the comments below. Okay, take care. Have it!